if you use open source software, you should be donating to open source software. And the reason I kind of say that is I've noticed as I've made videos on Linux and Proxmox and Home Assistant and some of these great open source tools is there's just a lot of freeloaders out there. Now, I know that that's maybe a harsh statement. A lot of people are going to have some pushback on that, but it's kind of true. A lot of people think the free in FOSS stands for I don't have to do anything, I don't contribute anything, I just use the stuff that people give me. And that attitude is kind of bad in the long run because the reality is software is not free. There are a lot of development costs, there's web hosting costs, content delivery, bandwidth, website design. There's just a lot of costs involved in developing and distributing software. And the less you give back, the less developers have incentives to actually develop those new features or to fix broken things or give you a better UI. Because those developers have limited time, they have a lot of skill, and they got bills to pay. People have alternatives. They can go out there and work and get paid and provide for their family. And a lot of these open source projects don't really get much back from their community. There's not a lot of code being contributed, and there's just almost no financial contributions. You know, a lot of people want to complain about Chrome, but I mean, Chrome has backing, Google pays for it. If you want some alternatives, it's probably going to cost you something somewhere. And so this is just an exhortation to get out there and actually do it. I know a lot of people think about it. Now, I also know that a lot of people are going to say, well, I don't really have much money. And I get budgets are constrained, and I'm not telling you to go out and spend your rent money on free open source software support. But you can probably give something. If you're watching this video, you probably have the capability of giving something because everything is going to count, right? If you're giving nothing right now, anything is an improvement. Whether it's $5, $10, $20, you know, maybe you can do like $20 a month and split it up among the 4, favorite projects that you have. Or maybe it's $20 once every 3 months, or once every 4 months, or once a year, or $5 a year. Again, anything is better than a zero here. And I promise you, it will make a difference for those developers. You see something come through, and it's gonna provide a little bit of financial incentive, a little bit of motivation, a little feedback from the community that they like what you're doing. And that's what it takes to keep this thing going. So if you're using a Linux distro, consider how does that distro maintain servers to give you packages? How do they, make sure that there's enough maintainers? How do they make sure that everything is integrated well? Well, right now, it's probably a lot of people just giving their free time and just giving them a little bit of incentive and a little bit of a thank you in a tangible form, i.e. like money. That's going to make a big difference. Maybe use, Proton GE, or you're using Nobara. Maybe throw some money Glorious Eggroll's way to say, hey man, thanks, keep doing what you're doing. Maybe use, KiCad, which I do for my electronics projects. That's a great piece of software. It takes a lot of skill to build that stuff. Maybe use Inkscape, or you're like, hey, I really wish GIMP was a better replacement for Photoshop. Well, maybe giving them a bit of a contribution will help motivate development of new features, and that can move it closer to where you want it to be. I've had the same complaints for FreeCAD. I don't think it's a perfect piece of software by any stretch, but the past 2 years I've been kicking them money because I want to see development. I want to see them improve. I don't know how many people on YouTube are using OBS, and a lot of those channels are monetized, and they're using OBS to help make their channel work, to do screen cap stuff. Well, I mean, obviously, if you're making a little bit of money off of your YouTube channel and you're using OBS, it would be nice to give them something back, right? To encourage them to continue development, to see new features come in. I use Home Assistant. I subscribe to Nabu Casa, not because I actually need their service, but I do like the idea of supporting that software development because Home Assistant is fantastic and I like supporting them. I want to see that thing continue its development. And so I'm not going to belabor the point. Again, you make whatever excuses you want, but this video is just to push you and give you that nudge. Hey, if you're using all this open source stuff and you love it, you want to see more, and you want to encourage people to do more development, well, contribute, right? Donate to open source. It's the least you can do, and anything is better than nothing.